Hey, welcome back to my channel, Soccer Mania 811. Today we are doing our match predictions review for the Premier League Week 27. Week 27 is done and dusted. We have all 10 games completed. Let's see how we did in our predictions. Okay, so starting out with the first game, Newcastle Wolves. That was a simple, it was a no-brainer. We called that Newcastle was going to take all 3 points, and that's exactly what happened. Game ended 3-0. Newcastle taking all 3 points. That was an exciting game to watch. He had goals. It was a fun game to watch. Next game, we have Tottenham Crystal Palace. That game started out with a little bit of a scare. It looked like Crystal Palace was going to give Tottenham a run for their money, but Tottenham was able to come back and take all 3 points, exactly how we predicted. Tottenham taking all 3 points at home against Crystal Palace. Now, 2 games done, 2 for 2. Third game, Nottingham Forest, Liverpool. Also another scare. It took Liverpool to the very last seconds of the game to win that game. And actually, in fairness, the referee gave them a little bit more time, more than the actual extra time. So it could have easily been a draw. But of course, we called it. Liverpool took all 3 points, and we have 3 for 3. Fourth game, Brentford and Chelsea. Now, this one was a little bit of a disappointment. Chelsea had to come from behind to fight and scrap for a draw against Brentford. Now, we had called Chelsea was going to take all 3 points, considering that they lost the EFL Cup finals, considering that they have been struggling. This was an opportunity for them to make a statement, and they did not. Instead, it was almost a loss for Chelsea. So this game was a letdown. It was a letdown, so to say. So now we have 4 games done, and of the 4 games we have 3 correct, 1 wrong. Fifth game, we have Everton West Ham. We also said this was going to be a draw. Everton is playing at home. West Ham needed to make a statement, right? They needed to show why they are the reigning champions of the Europa Conference League, and we said they needed to make a statement to come off their horrible run of form. However, Everton was playing at home, and they got that boost from the extra points they got back from the penalty that they had gotten earlier in the season. So they needed to ride that momentum, especially at home. But that didn't happen, and they lost the game. We had predicted a draw, and they lost the game. So now we have 3 correct out of 5. Sixth game, we have Fulham against Brighton. This one, we said Fulham, they're flying high, they're playing well. You have the Super Eagles guys coming back from the AFCON, really in good form, playing very well, playing very composed, very confident, and they were playing at home. And we knew that, we also said that Brighton plays a very attacking game, a high press game, and Fulham had some pacey players, and they could take advantage of a counter and really hurt Brighton. And that's exactly what happened. Fulham won the game, took all 3 points. They scored 3 goals, and it was a beautiful game to watch. It was very fluid, very fun, and great goals, right? So now we have 4 correct out of 6. Next game after that was Luton Town, Aston Villa. And we had said Aston Villa was going to win this game, and they're playing very well, gradually getting back to their early season form that saw them be top 2 in the Premier League at some point, and they're gradually getting back there. But Luton Town gave them a scare. First half, Aston Villa was winning 2-0. Luton Town came back, and the game ended 3-2, and it was a narrow escape from Aston Villa, to be honest. But we called it. Aston Villa was going to take all 3 points, and that's exactly what happened. So now we have, how many do we have? We have 5 out of 7, okay? And the next game, the 8th game, was Burnley versus Bournemouth. We had said Burnley are fighting for their life. They're not really playing well, but because they're fighting for their life, we expected they would at least get a draw since they were playing at home. That didn't happen. Bournemouth came and they took all 3 points, scoring 2 goals. So Bournemouth was able to take all 3 points, and that's wasn't really a shocker because you can see that Burnley, they're struggling. They have been struggling. They're not really, not that they're not playing well, they don't have the quality of players to play the type of game Vincent Kompany, their coach, is wanting them to play. You can't bring that type of gameplay to the Premier League without having the quality of players to back it up. So that's really the struggle they're having in Burnley. And it's all but certain they're going to be relegated. And that's just what's going to happen. So there you have it. We have 5 out of 8 so far. 9th game was Manchester City at the Etihad, Manchester Derby, and we said Manchester City was going to take all 3 points, but boy, that was a scare. Rashford came and had that phenomenal strike to take for for Manchester United to take the lead, and Manchester City really struggled to get an equalizer. But of course, Foden, who is playing very well, is a world-class player right now, is in very good form, came in, equalized for Manchester City, and also took Manchester City into the lead. So he scored the first 2 goals, and then of course Erling Haaland added a third at the last few minutes of the game to make it a comfortable 3-1 win. And if you watch that game, in fairness, the 3 goals for Manchester City doesn't really tell the entire story of the game, because Manchester City dominated that game. I believe they had about 78% possession with almost 800 passes and 28 or 30 shots. I mean, it was just crazy. And Manchester United only had 2 shots. And when you watch the game, you wonder if this was a game between a league, like a lower league team, versus Manchester City. You can't tell that this is Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world. And it was a very interesting game to watch. You could see the movement, the intricate passes of Manchester City, the just the control of the game and the ball. It was a good one to watch. And of course, we called it Manchester City was going to take all 3 points, which happened. So now we have 6 out of 9. And the last game, which just happened, Arsenal, the team flying high right now, the team that can do no wrong in the Premier League, the team scoring goals for fun. I mean, you wake up, they score a goal. I said in my last video, I said, when you're watching Arsenal in the Premier League right now, you have to stay glued to your seat, because if you get up and go grab a snack and come back, Arsenal scored a goal. So if you're watching Arsenal right now, you have to stay glued to your seat. They are playing phenomenally, controlling the game, having intricate passes, intricate movements off each other that is drawing out the opposition. And it was just a wonderful game to watch. Now, they scored 6 goals. I believe they've scored a total of about 30 goals in their last 5 or 6 games. Every game they play in the Premier League, they're scoring 4, 5, 6 goals. And it's really fun to watch, right? It's really fun to watch. Now, this is the first time in over, about 10 years, we are seeing a Premier League title race between 3 teams this close, just a single point between the number 1 and number 2, and then a single point between number 2 and number 3. So, like we said, Arsenal was going to take all 3 points with a lot of goals. That's exactly what happened. And at the end of the day, we got 7 out of 10 games. We were able to predict correctly 7 out of 10 games. If you want me to keep doing these videos, please write in the comments, Tell me what leagues you're interested in seeing. MLS, La Liga, French League, Bundesliga. I will do all the prediction videos. Let me know your own prediction thoughts in the coming weeks. Share my videos, comment, follow, and we're actually going to go live very soon when I'm able to get to 1,000 followers. And I will see you in the next video.